Back into the action here, folks, on the number one ticket for Crimson Tide Football News. Appreciating everyone for the calls, the chats, the super chats, for your thoughts, your opinions, your viewpoints, how you are feeling today when you talk Alabama football. So appreciate the love there from you guys here on the show. As always, be sure to give a thumbs up, give a like on the show, hit that subscribe button, turn all of those notifications on so that way you can have the best news, notes, and alerts on your favorite program, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide. And before we get into the final topic of conversation, got to remind you of TDAware.com. That is TDAware.com. Make us your number one stop shop for all your t-shirts and hoodies galore here. If you want the I Love Hearing Touchdown Alabama shirt, the We Want Football shirts, the Let Them Play shirts, all types of hoodies, we got you covered right now. We got you covered right here at TDAware.com. Once again, that is TDAware.com. Continue to show your support for head coach Nick Saban, the Alabama student athletes, the program, and of course us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But now, final topic of conversation here, folks, and that's this Alabama defense. Is it really starting to improve? Is it really gradually getting better? Is it really taking steps forward? And it's been a topic that everybody has discussed here, whether it's U.S. fans, I myself, and the media. It's a topic that's been discussed since the Ole Miss game, where Alabama's defense gave up 48 points and 647 yards offensively to one Lane Kiffin and the University of Mississippi. But I feel like since that game, there has been some improvements. Now, they haven't been the big boom, improvements, but it has been some small, gradual growth there being shown on defense. I mean, going back to the Georgia game in the second half, it did shut Georgia off the scoreboard. It did create 3 turnovers. It did get off the field more on third down, as the Dogs only converted 2 third downs off 7 attempts. So you saw improvement against Georgia. And then against Tennessee, there was some improvement there. The Volunteers did not score in the first quarter or in the fourth quarter, so you shut Tennessee off the scoreboard for 2 quarters. The Volunteers only converted 4 of 16 third downs. Now, they did convert 2 of 4 fourth downs, but on third down, Alabama was able to get off the field more times than not. It continued to force turnovers. After forcing 3 against Georgia, it forced a turnover against Tennessee. Malachi Moore, the strip of running back Eric Gray, he caused the fumble. He recovered the fumble and took it 28 yards back to the compartments for a touchdown. Malachi Moore did that. So you're seeing some improvement there in terms of continuing to force those turnovers. So Alabama's making small improvements. When you look at the defensive line, first of all, I want to see more consistency from DJ Dale, and I talked about this. He played well, very well against Georgia, but then to come back the next week against Tennessee and was basically a non-factor. He's got to get better and being more consistent as a nose tackle in the middle, getting that push, getting that force, getting that friction, setting everybody up for success, because that nose guard position opens everything up. It's that nose guard that helps the defensive ends, win their one-on-one battles and attack the ball. It's the nose guard that helps the middle linebacker, that helps, the outside linebackers. It's the nose guard that kind of sets all of that intensity in motion. So I want more consistency from DJ Dale where that is concerned. But Christian Barmore has done some big things this season. Fidarian Mathis looked a lot better there against Tennessee. Byron Young, I spoke with Nick Saban about Byron Young, and Young is a guy that when he enters the game, there is energy, there is intensity, he's making big plays. He's got some potential to have some of that Quinnen Williams-like quickness. I got a chance to speak to Coach Saban about Young today in his presser. Check out Coach Saban's response here from my question about Byron Young. This is Coach Saban.
Hey, Coach, when Byron Young enters the game, he has a lot of energy, makes plays in the backfield. What does he bring to a growing defensive line?
Well, Byron has really played well for us this year. I think he's lost some weight. He's got his quickness back. He shows a little more movement ability than some of the other guys that we have, and I really do like the way he played, especially in this last game. So we certainly need some help, especially with LeBron Ray still very questionable as to when he's going to come back. Byron gives us a little mobility that we're certainly going to need, especially in a game like this.
That was Coach Saban speaking on one Byron Young on the defensive line. He had a big game against Tennessee. Young, 4 tackles, including 1 stop, 4 loss there. And even Justin Aboigbe. Aboigbe had the interception against Georgia 2 weeks ago and has continued to play well. So in the absence of LeBron Ray, who's still questionable, banged up with the elbow injury there, Alabama wants to have more guys step up here on the defensive line. Tim Smith played well against Tennessee. He had 3 tackles. Jamil Burroughs has played well as a freshman also. So while I want to see more consistency from DJ Dale, and like you guys have mentioned, wanting to see this defensive front really attack the quarterback, really put pressure on the passing game, have that consistent effect on the opposing team's passing game, but defensive front has been making some improvements there. As we go to the linebacker position, I mentioned this. Dylan Moses played better against Tennessee. He had 6 tackles, including 1 tackle for loss. I still want him to shake off what lasting, lingering thoughts he has on his knee injury and just play ball. I still want him to cut off those lasting thoughts there, go out there, run around the field, attack the football, make plays, be that alpha dog, be that personality, be that guy that people were expecting you to be as you entered into this season. That's Dylan Moses. In terms of Christian Harris, he had his best game of this past week. Had 10 tackles against the Volunteers. And then, Chris Allen has been playing a whole lot better. And he's been kind of strengthening his potential draft stock at outside linebacker. So the linebacker play a little bit better against Tennessee. Still want to see Dylan Moses cut this thing loose, turn this thing loose, and really play with the fire that we thought or that we anticipated him playing with coming into the season. And last but not least, the secondary, Surtain and Jobe. Patrick Surtain, Josh Jobe, and Malachi Moore, all 3 of the corners have been fine. I mean, Josh Jobe still at times can be a little bit too emotional, has to continue to reel that in some, but he's played well. Patrick Surtain, I know he gave up the touchdown to Josh Palmer from Jarrett Guarantano. A lot of people are wondering why didn't Surtain put his hands on him, why he didn't reroute the guy, why he didn't press him a bit more. When Surtain was running with Palmer, his body actually had Palmer more so shielded toward the back side there, the little short corner there of the end zone, and it took a perfect throw from Guarantano to beat him, and Guarantano had the ball right there, so you gotta give credit to where credit is due. But Surtain playing well for the most part. Malachi Moore, the superstar in that defensive backfield for the Crimson Tide. Now, I've mentioned this for Daniel Wright and Jordan Battle. They've got to clean this up. They've got to get faster. They've got to be able to have better eye discipline. They've got to be able to tackle. They have just got to improve all the way around. That's Jordan Battle and Daniel Wright. If those 2 can improve tremendously, then the secondary, then this entire defense can finally come into form here, into fruition. But I want to see some major improvement here from Battle and Daniel Wright. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here on your Crimson Tide. Very simple and easy to do this. You get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you right here, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, Overcast.fm, TuneIn Radio, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. As always, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link will be found in the description. Also, you can pick up that 4-finger bling necklace courtesy of our friends at weownthefourthquarter.com. That link will be found in the description as well. But husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands, children, school, back in. Continue to do those things, though, legitimately now, to not be bored. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself. Protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, spit in my own words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.